So here we have a new trailer for the Dead Space remake, which is set for release in late January of next year, within the next few months. And considering that Dead Space, which I have done a retrospective for, the original game, is one of my favorite games ever. Both Dead Space 1 and 2 actually are very high up on my list of favorite video games. I'm actually personally looking forward to this quite a bit, and I've been following this game pretty extensively, like with the gameplay presentations that EA has shown off, which I believe the first one that they released was last year. We got a quite extensive look into the game, but let's see what's going on here with the trailer.
USG Ishimura, this is the emergency maintenance team of the USG Kellyan responding to your distress call.
Isaac Clarke.
What have you got, Isaac?
Half the Ishimura's in the red. Engines, hull, the trams.
Can you handle it alone?
Fix the centrifuge. Get the fuel running.
I like that little touch. The fact that they gave him a voice, He speaks. Isaac isn't the silent protagonist that he was in the original game. And that's a huge improvement over the original already. It didn't make any sense for the character to basically be silent throughout the entire game. And silent protagonists really don't make any sense anymore, given production quality that we have with modern video games. It just doesn't make any sense to develop a AAA game where you have a character that doesn't say anything, doesn't speak, doesn't utter a word throughout the entire experience. So that was a huge improvement. Yeah, if you look at the art style here, it's very, very close to the original. In fact, I would say that it's spot on with the original. They really did their homework, and it looks like they directly took, I guess, inspiration from the original game's concept art, and they went through the original game and said, this needs to look like this. The floors, the ventilation, the lighting, all of it needs to be basically one in one with the original. They did a very good job with the art direction. I can see that.
This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan. Medical is overwhelmed. We need help.
So we have an emphasis on shooting limbs again. They did alter that gameplay style, so it's a bit different compared to the original as far as the damage that you can actually issue on the necromorphs themselves. But for the most part, it's largely the same. It looks like they brought back the QTEs, unless it can't be an automatic thing like when the player is grabbed by an enemy, because either the AI is going to win or you, the player, is going to win. So I'd imagine they didn't take out the QTEs and they're still in there. That may bother some folks who've never played Dead Space before, but QTEs were basically instilled in Dead Space, the DNA of those games. So it wouldn't make any sense if they were to get rid of that. So this is new. They had zero gravity in the original Dead Space, but it was very different from the zero-G sequences that you have in Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3. For the remake, they've changed the zero-G moments to resemble more Dead Space 2 and 3, and I think that was also a very big improvement. Zero-G sequences in Dead Space 1 weren't really all that engaging. With Dead Space 2 and 3, you could basically hover around the level, and so they've basically changed it in the remake for Dead Space 1 to resemble that instead of what you had in the original. Again, big improvement. So I think I saw the force gun and the flamethrower, and what was the other one? Yeah, that I think that's the force gun right there. That was actually my favorite weapon from Dead Space 1. I think that's the plasma rifle right there. And I see they had the lurkers, so they brought back the lurkers. They had that scorpion necromorph, I forget what that thing's called. But it looks like they've brought back all of the monsters that were in the original game, so yeah, it's looking pretty good to me. Ooh, was that a brute? I think that was a brute. Yep. Looks very close to the original as well. Ooh, the Leviathan. The Leviathan boss fight from Dead Space 1 is actually one of my favorite boss fights of all time from any video game. And it was a combination of what was going on in the game's story as well as the design of the boss itself. It looks like they've kept it pretty close to the original, but the fact that you have it as a 0G sequence, that they changed the 0G moments, those segments in the game. I'm wondering how that's going to play out in the actual boss fight itself.
Humanity will be made whole, Mr. Clark. With or without you.
Isaac, it's me. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening.
I do want to mention the graphics. So I've seen comments online. If you take a look at this, clearly there's a lot of different improvements. There's improvements with the lighting, the textures in the environment, the textures on the actual character models, particularly Isaac himself is much improved. The older games don't really hold up anymore graphically. You can still play them, but by modern standards, they're extremely outdated, especially Dead Space 1. Dead Space 1 is very, very outdated. It's a game from 2008, and you can easily tell the difference graphically between the original and this new version from EA. So I've seen comments online where people have said it's not really, certain people have said, certain not so smart people have said that, yeah, it's not a huge graphical improvement. You need to get your eyes checked, because if you compare the remake just based off of what they've shown thus far to the original game, it's basically like a new game. It's been modernized graphically, so I'm not sure where those comments are coming from, other than from ignorant people who need to shut their mouths.
Nicole?
January the 27th, 2023. It's strange because this game comes out 1 month after Callisto Protocol, which that's a game that was directed by the creator of Dead Space, Glenn Schofield, and that game comes out in December, early December. And then 2 months after this game comes out, I don't even think it's a full 2 months, but around 2 months after this game comes out, we have the Resident Evil 4 remake. So comparing these three different games is going to be interesting. I think there's already comparison videos out right now on YouTube and other places around the internet. So, but yeah, game looks fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Again, Dead Space is one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm very interested to see, how EA has modernized the game for the current market, the current, video game industry market. So, yeah, I believe this is already available for pre-order now. It is. So, you can buy it right now. I will be playing this game on PC, and I will do a retrospective on it.